Were you a minimalist by nature, or was that something that, emerged for you either being in New York at that time and around that gestalt, or how do you think about that?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, I wouldn't say I was very influenced by minimalist composers. I would say in terms of writing, maybe I was influenced by Asian poets or of various sorts. And maybe I just didn't have the patience to read poems with lots of words. But I just somehow figured out a way to put music that didn't come from changes, basically, to words, and then the harmonic progressions kind of emerge from that.
Yeah. So more of an aesthetic influence.
I guess maybe, yeah.
I think about, I'm from the Northeast originally. I lived in New York for a long time. The sort of, in air quotes, downtown scene was so impactful for me as a listener and my exposure to creative music. Very easy for me to idealize everything that sprung from that. But it's also true that so much did spring from that well. Do either of you, maybe I'll ask you first, Peggy, recognize, or do you see lineage that sprung from that scene, or is what you came up with and through completely separate from that world?
I wasn't really aware of that world, but I think when I moved to Vancouver and started to play with the musicians on the scene there, they were fully aware of that world. So I was sort of influenced by the next
secondhand kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, as I said, because the jazz festival at the time brought over a lot of European improvisers, especially from the Dutch scene, that was also really a big influence.
Yeah. Was cello your first instrument?
Not really. I started on piano and I also played guitar a bit. So I started cello because I went to a school in Toronto, grade 7, and that particular public school had a good orchestra program. So I had to choose an instrument and I chose cello.
It's so funny how many people have a similar story as that, right? Like it's not that surprising when somebody says they started on piano, because that's sort of, it's
What was in the house.
thing. Yeah.